Good evening, folks. Happy Thursday. How am I doing? I am doing better than I've been. A lot better than I've been. I've been having some major health issues for actually a couple of months. Um, that kind of had a crisis a couple of weeks ago, but it's gotten a lot better. I should be all right. I shouldn't have like the world's worst uh, energy levels this time around. Although no promises that I won't have trouble focusing, just because that is the reality of my life a lot of times. Um, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome. Thank you for coming back. It's nice to see your names and imagine your faces. They are text, but they're still faces. That counts, right? All right, before we dive in, I did want to say a thing because I've gotten a couple of comments on YouTube and sometimes with people dropping by here. And I wanted to address something pretty quickly, and then I'll try to dive on into the game before waiting too long. But basically, I had somebody ask, like, if you don't want backseating, why are you even bothering to stream this instead of just doing a let's play and posting it up after the fact? And I was a little surprised by that, but I've been a little surprised in general from people assuming or sometimes getting frustrated about the no backseating and no spoiler rule. So, like, the long and short of it is that I like to play video games, and I am playing a video game, and I want to play a video game and hang out with friends while I play the video game. And I'm going to talk a lot because that's how I roll. And that's what I'm hoping to get out of this. Now, I don't know for sure if that's what everybody wants to get out of this. I'm sure that there are people out there who are streamers who have other intents. Like maybe they want to create super successful, fantastic content that everybody will be drawn to. Or maybe they want to have a really interactive game experience where like the audience is telling them what to do and they're bouncing off of that. And that's what they want to do. And so if that's what folks want, I can understand that there might be streamers out there who want that experience. If that's the case, I'm sorry, that's not what I'm going to deliver. It's not what I want to deliver. It's not my goal. It's not my intent. And we are not going to be thrilled with the situation if that's what you want and you're sad. And then you get frustrated with me, I'm going to be sad. So my request to you is if that sounds like your idea of a good time, I'm not going to yak your yum, but I am going to say this is not where that's going to happen. So like I try to explain to folks what it is that I do or don't want to do, but one of the things that that I don't know. My hope is that if you come here to watch me play this video game, you want me to play the game. I am not going to play the game the way you want me to. I am not going to be Twitch plays, Lauren plays Disco Elysium. There may be other people who want that or who do that. That is not what I do, and it is never going to be what I do. And so I know that that's frustrating for people, apparently. And all I can say is okay. That's all right. But if you give me a hard time about it, I might delete your messages because I'm not trying to please everybody here. I'm just trying to play a video game and have fun with it. So I hope that we can be on the same page with that, if that's all right. So if you think that I talk too much, you're probably right, but I am the only me that we've got, so I'm just gonna do my best. All that to say is sometimes when people get really excited about things and they can't help it and they blurt something out, it happens. It happens to the best of us. I have been known to occasionally blurt out a spoiler about something to somebody else. So, like, that's fine. I don't get mad at folks if they slip up because they get overexcited or they don't understand exactly what I mean by backseating. I don't get mad at you for that. And I ask that those of you who are hanging out with us also not get mad at people for that, because, like, it just happens. My request is for folks who want to steer the streamer to have for that, where they want the audience to have control over what the streamer does. My request is that if you are looking for that experience, you find it in a place that will offer that. This is never going to be that place. So are we good? I'm sorry, I feel like that's like a really like sad or negative way to start a stream, and I felt bad about it, but I figured I'd put it at the beginning so folks who get here late don't have to deal with it, and folks who are watching on YouTube can just skip past it if they don't want to. But that's the long and short of it. I have noticed with Disco Elysium that it's harder than usual, which is why I've brought it up. I've occasionally had that kind of thing happen to some degree. Most of the people complaining about how long I take with Deltarune, but when it comes to Toby Fox games, I'm just kind of like, I'm in my element. I'm like, whatever, okay, fine. This is not the stream for you, but I'm totally comfortable with the way that I do things. Here, I know that it's frustrating for people. People are trying to tell me how to play the game better. People are telling me about the things that I've missed out on, and I'm just like, let me play the game, please. Please just let me play the game. Because I don't want to have to stop playing the game. So please just let me play the game. And it does mean that I will talk to chat less, because if I can tell that folks are starting to either get frustrated or get backseaty, I will just ignore chat. I have chat on another screen, so I'll just stop looking at the chat for a while. Just like I do if I'm fighting a boss fight in a lot of games, or I'm at the end of a game. A lot of times I'll outright hide the chat so that nobody can spoil anything for me and I'm just in the zone. There's going to be a bit more of that, I think, with this game, just because of how it plays. And my apologies if that's frustrating, because I don't want to make people frustrated, but I also don't want to not be me and not play the game the way I want to play it. So that's my thing. And yes, bringing it back to the game, Ocelot comes with built-in backseaters. So yes, that's true. And some of them are authority who can go right to hell. Look, I can swear on the stream. An Inland Empire who I have a complicated relationship with. So yeah, there's that. And if you want, like, if you legitimately think something's up or something's an issue and you're legitimately concerned, especially like if you're like, I want to protect Lauren from a bad experience or whatever, talk to the mods in spoiler chat. They're on board. They will have those conversations. They know this game. Thank you, Bubblegum. I appreciate that. I wasn't expecting it quite to this degree with Disco Elysium. I was expecting heaviness to the content, but I wasn't expecting having to reiterate so much. Like, the thing is, I think part of it oh, I've clearly talked for long enough. I thought, okay, well, anyway, our boys are gonna be friends. I think part of it is that because of the nature of this game being what it is, because it is so, yes, exactly what Space Cowboy is saying. It's literally what I'm about to say. Because it is such an incredibly personal experience, because so many small things can be done so differently, and so many big things can be done differently in such a major way. Okay, one of my best friends in the world, I love this friend very much, but the friend who was like, no, I don't need to worry about it. I beat the game once. I'm pretty sure I've seen there is everything to see in the game. It's very funny to me. But because that's actually the opposite of how it works, I think that people have a really strong personal connection to the way that they played the game. For whatever reason, whether it's because they built a character the way that I've built my character, to be an experience that is true to the way that they play games and experience things, or or if it's just that like they were really emotionally engaged with the game and its story. Whatever the case may be, your experience with Disco Elysium is very personal to you, and I imagine there's a sense of discomfort when somebody plays it differently, especially if they make choices that you would never have made. Or especially if, for example, I dismiss a choice and you're like, but I made that choice for different reasons and I feel attacked. I think that that's a really human thing, especially in something that this game is really important to people. Like, it's funny and it's goofy and it's weird and it's dark, but it's clearly really important to people. Um, I think that because of that, like, people do take the playing of it really seriously, um, and take it personally. So I didn't realize that when I started it, but I do think that that's part of where this is coming from, is that people, I mean, I'm sure there's people who are just like, we don't want you to miss stuff, because there's been folks who've been trying to explain to me that maybe I should try to cheese the game mechanics with items and things like that. Um, but also I think that people want their experience to be validated. And I wonder if there's some degree of people wanting me to find the solution that they do and find the things that they did, so they can be like, yes, the way that I did it is right. There's not a right or wrong answer. And the way that you do things for your own reasons, even if I disagree with them, even if I say, this thing is ridiculous for this reason, and you're like, that's just my one-sided interpretation of what's happening in this game, viewed through my perspective and my interpretation of things, in not in any way a criticism of you, or even saying that all players who pick another answer are picking it for the reason that I'm dismissing it. It's fine, I promise. So I find it interesting how the level of personal connection that people feel to this game seems to be a big part of what people get out of it. And yet people come to see other people play this game. But you have to know that it's going to be a very different experience. And one of the first things people ask when they pop in is like, what build is she playing? It's going to be different. It's going to be all right. I will find things that a lot of you have never seen before, because this is that kind of a game. And I will miss all sorts of really cool stuff that you want me to see. All right. So that's that. I'm going to break that up into two topics. I'm going to break that up into Lauren talks about her feelings on backseating, and then that's going to be Lauren talks about the reason why this game is so personal to people. Yeah, well, I feel like what people have gotten out of this might be closer to what I got out of Undertale and Deltarune. And that's really interesting, because the last game that I talked to somebody about, that I was really surprised that they had, like, I had a really deep reaction to Undertale, where it like really like resonated with me on a deep level and changed the way that I looked at things. And I had an ex who couldn't understand what the big deal was with Undertale, but found Spec Ops: The Line to be like one of the most emotionally profound and moving experiences ever. So, things hit people differently. And yeah, if I missed something that you got, you're special and you've gotten it. And maybe after I've beaten this game, we can talk about those things. Maybe not. It's fine. All right. So last time we talked to a bunch of different people about things. We talked about centrism a bunch, because Gaston. Renee is the official, the royalist fellow. We talked to Gaston, and I had to confront my own expectations for him as a character, which I think was intentional on the part of the people who wrote the game. Hi, Cicada, thank you. Okay, well, good luck catching up. The true final bosses, can you make it through Lauren talking so much? Yes. We even got some great lyrics. If you want to actually quote the Gaston lyrics here, we actually did have a flutie on Discord make up lyrics to the Gaston song about Gaston the centrist. It was great. Um, I don't know, Aphrodite. We'll see. We'll see when I get there. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not usually a replay kind of person, but maybe. Okay, yes, okay. No one writes like Gaston, avoids fights like Gaston, values sandwiches over his rights like Gaston, at Petanque, is that the right way of saying that? Games, his skill is intimidating. Centrist, old Monsieur Gaston. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? I'm sorry, I felt like you all needed to see the Gaston song. I was impressed because like not only is it like accurate and good, but it scans properly to the Disney song. It's fantastic, amazing. I did not sing it, but I could have tried singing that would have been interesting. Yeah, and sometimes there's something fun about ignoring the scansion intentionally or just completely whatever. If you do go that extra mile, it's beautiful. All that to say, if you want to make parody song lyrics like that, and I can appreciate that. I can very much appreciate that. And you notice it didn't spoil anything. Well done. Well, it didn't spoil anything for me. Okay. So we talked to him. I chickened out of going and talking to the skull. Mona the skull? Is that her name? Or is there another reason why do I want to say, is that her name? What is her name? Oh my god, I'm so bad at names. Cindy the skull. Why do I want to call her Mona? Does she make fun of somebody? She makes fun of somebody named Mona. And for some reason my brain decided that her name was Mona. I don't know why. Cindy the skull. I chickened out of talking to her. But we talked to the druggy pawn shop guy who has some weird thing going on with lights, in which I took at face value the fact that there could be some sort of light magic happening in this game, and you guys were like, that's garbage, Lauren. And then it turns out that it might just be that the druggie is having special deep thoughts about light. Bird's Nest Roy. Bird's Nest is a great name for a pawn shop. Specifically the like a magpie style of Bird's Nest, you know? Like, I think that there are birds that don't just pull random junk into their nest, but Roy is not one of those. All right. And then we came here and we talked to this girl, but we haven't finished talking to this girl. And I think we haven't clicked on, there was something else. We did make a save against vices. We asked about drugs that are legal. And I told the lady that, well, she's a girl, she gotta be a teenager. She seems like a teenager anyway. I told her that I'm in recovery. And she took it like, okay, yeah, that's a good reason. Yeah, the hat is really silly. I don't know what the name means or what the extra T is all about. Because I know with one T, it's spelled differently. Like, you can talk about things being fried. But I don't remember. So, I don't know if there's some French there that my several years worth of terrible American school system French have failed to prepare me with. But, hi Dave, welcome. All right. I'm gonna talk to the girl, because I haven't talked to the girl yet.
Welcome to Frittte. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
She sounds really young. She looks really young. She is reading. You can actually see the magazine if you look at it when it zooms in here. She's got, like, it looks like there's maybe like a sexy dude on the front. That checks out. All right.
What's that magazine she's reading?
Oh my god. I love you, Disco Elysium. This time it wasn't rhetoric. This game has my back. Yes. Yes. I did, Serious Inc. I built the perfect build for me. I have even had 1 HP for the past couple of months, so it's perfect. Oh my goodness. Okay. It is really kind of interesting, though, looking at something like this set in the era that it's set in. We don't know what that era is, but it's not our contemporary time. That I would normally expect digital displays, but there's no digital displays. There are what appear to be cards, yellow cardstock folded and put on things to show what price, I assume prices are or something. I'm not even sure. It's interesting. All right. I'm going to ask her about the shop. No, I'm going to ask her about the magazine. No, Ocelot believes that Disco is still alive today. I am pointedly not going to put on my electrochemistry gloves while I'm here, because electrochemistry does not need any help. While we're here, that's dangerous. I would change my pants, or maybe it's my disco ass blazer. Either way, I would change clothes before coming into a place where there's booze if I had any other options. But I feel like walking around half naked is probably a bad idea. Maybe not. All right. I don't know if it's that electrochemistry itself is strong, but we are dealing with a recovering addict. He's in recovery because I say he's in recovery. I know he doesn't have to be in recovery in everyone's playthrough, but in mine he is. He's working on it. All right, let's ask, what magazine are you reading?
You mean this?
I was like, oh, it looks like it's probably like a pretty boy or something like that. I was wrong. She looks at the cover, boasting a colorful photo of 2 girls kissing. We have an emote for that. Yay! My girlfriend gave me flowers because I've been sick. You can't see them, but those are flowers right there. She gave me. She showed up with a box of pretty flowers. So it's very sweet. They smell really nice. She's very sweet. Well, she said you've been feeling bad, and I want you to have something nice. Maybe it'll make you feel better. Anyway. No, we've been dating for a couple of months now-ish. She's very nice. Alright. So, gayness. Homosexuality presence in this game has increased +1. Lauren's interest in this game has increased +1. Amazing. Actually, this will tell me some things about the world and the people in it and expectations of it, which is really important to know, because not every world has to be our real world. Not every world that is created in fiction has to reflect real world bigotry. You could make a high fantasy setting and not have sexual violence against women be a part of your setting. You could do that. If you made a fantasy land with dragons, you could just have that not be a part of your setting. They could just not be there if you wanted. Isn't that great? You could just do that. And you could just decide to not have homophobia in your setting if you feel like not having homophobia in your setting. It's a decision you can make as a writer. You can choose to keep it in and have plenty of reasons to keep it in, but it is a conscious decision that you are making if anything is not set in our real world as it is now. It doesn't have to be accurate or true to history or reality. All right. We're going to continue and see. How do we feel about the gays in game? Out of game, A+.
This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
She's really funny. Okay.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Okay, hold on. We've got a couple of different questions here. We've got stupid famous people, or I approve of this, very futuristic, tap on the girls kissing, or forget about all that. What is this fashion police feature? Point at the cover. Oh my god. I'm really excited about this. Amazing. Let's see. Yeah, police de la mode, because a la mode, that is fashionable. Which is why it's really funny. So if you order brownies a la mode at a restaurant in the US, you will receive brownie with ice cream on top. Or cake or whatever dessert. You have fashionable brownies. Fashionable cake with ice cream. Ice cream makes it fashionable. So I could go right now. I baked a chocolate cake over the weekend and I could get myself some fashionable cake. All right. So I do feel like I am contractually obligated to be supportive of the gays. So we're gonna approve of the girls kissing and see what happens. Again, this is a way of exploring the world. I have not yet figured out whether I shape the reality of the world based on the actions that I take, or the world is the way the world is, regardless of what I put down. I haven't figured that out yet. Can I take a tiny moment? No, I promise I'll keep it quiet. I'll keep it short. I'll do my best. When I run tabletop games, that's how I run them. That I can have a thing sort of halfway planned, whatever. But if the player interprets it differently and that seems interesting, we'll just scrap what I had in mind and the entire function of the world. Like, the world will function differently on a fundamental level. You can completely, like, reinvent physics in a world that I run by misinterpreting it, and I think that your idea sounds good. And so I could see, because that's how I'm used to running tabletop games behind the scenes, I could see how you could carry something like that out in a game like this. So I wonder if that's what they're doing. Or not. I don't know. Oh, I never have maps prepared. Do I seem like someone who has maps prepared? I will invent entire everything on the fly. My job is to make it so that you don't realize that. But I will be making up everything and taking your ideas if I like them. I don't play D&D. I usually play homebrew stuff. No, granted, I divorced my usual DM who invented the homebrew system I used. Hold on, I need water. Yes, we will figure this out. I'm going to get water. Maps are great. No, that's true. Hold on. Maps are great and all, but they're unnecessary. All right. Hydrate yourself. I love people learning English through the nerdy things that they do. It makes me feel better about all the English-speaking nerds learning other languages because of things. And the fact that I want to learn German so that I can read The Neverending Story in its original language. One of these days I'll get around to that project again. All right. Thanks. Okay. So, as much as I want to talk about fashion police, I do appreciate that they point out the fashion police thing, because I wouldn't have figured that out immediately, but they translate it for me. I'm gonna approve of girls kissing and see what happens if we say this. At the very least, Ocelot is an ally? Question mark. He could be a bisexual disaster. That's fine. We know that he is at least interested in women. The rest is I think currently up in the air. All right. Bye, Lenzel. Have fun with Pathfinder. All right, I approve of this very futuristic tap on the girls kissing.
She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum and nods.
How do you know it's raspberry flavored?
The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half smile.
Okay. Okay. That tells me potentially he's definitely a disaster. Yeah, potentially that tells me that that the rest of the world is not super homophobic, and so this line that he says that is trying to be supportive is behind the times, but the intent is okay. I mean, it's totally awkward. No, that's true. That's fine. I'm fine with it. Fortunately, I can...
You mean this? This is Pop Stars.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34.
I'm going to ask about
This speaks to you.
the fashion police feature. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I don't mind Ocelot saying awkward things. If I minded Ocelot saying awkward things, I would not be able to play this game. Sometimes the game gives me no choice but awkwardness. And by sometimes I mean basically all the time. But it's fine. All right. All right. What is this fashion police feature? It's going to tell me that my outfit is not cool.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
Yes. I freely admit that I do sometimes like to look at the fashion, like, these days now it's mostly Twitter threads. It used to be articles that I would read that would talk about things. I don't even really care about fashion in a like high fashion famous people on the red carpet sort of way, but there's something entertaining about that. I don't know. Okay. I can either say who's the numero uno guy in there right now, and does he look like this? And also I can point at himself. I can point to her hat and say, I bet your hat would take the prize. Or, so who is the most stylish there? It can't be anyone from here. All right, so I want her to explain the hat. I think she'll be annoyed about it. And I am curious about 3 because that could give me world building. 1 is a slightly too much conscious for me. Oh no, this isn't about fashion models. This is about like what people wear on the red carpet and things like that. And usually, not always, they do have some say over that. Kim looks cool. Kim looks cool. All right. I'm afraid that if I pick the 2, she's going to get her feelings hurt. I don't know. Well, I want to hear about the hat. Tell me. Well, they're going to tell me about this place anyway. So I'm going to ask who's the most stylish.
Benita. She's a model. Usually it's a model. Or a singer-songwriter. Or a model.
Really? All right. So models are in.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Kim, are you offended by the phrasing that they're using? Kim. That's all right, Kim. I'm not going to arrest you for crimes against fashion. Don't worry. All right. I'm going to ask what this place is, and she's not going to care because I'm some weird old guy talking to her about. I already asked her to explain every medicine in her cabinet, so it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to say before we go on, what is this fruit?
I don't know. Frittte?
Frittte? Oh, excuse me. Why is it written with 3 T's? That's a good question.
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
She chews on her gum with disgust. I love her just blatant disapproval of this. Amazing.
The story goes that normal Frittte, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Frittte Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. You've always got my back. All right. I'm going to stop trying to piece together things in French. I don't think my French is good enough. So we now know trademark infringement is still a concern in their world as it is in our world. Some of these concerns are the same. All right. I want to see if I can poke a little bit more.
I don't know. A 7 to 11 grocery store.
Okay. 7-Eleven. Okay. All right.
I think
yeah,
they-
we got
The
that.
story goes that normal
Yes.
Frittte, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Frittte Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had
Sorry.
to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement.
Sorry to make you have to listen to these things again. Let's see. Because, like, there's all these place names, and I don't know any of them. Fortunately, neither does Ocelot, so it's great we're on the same page. And that page is missing. Okay, I'm going to ask her some questions. She's not going to know the answers. It's going to be fine. It's just, like, I wonder where Frittte comes from.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but
She puts down the magazine. Okay, I can either say, can you tell me anything about the dead body, or can you tell me anything about this reality we're in? Amazing. Amazing. You know, they should have the narrator from this game and the narrator from the Supergiant games. They should just have a voice off. We all win. Doesn't matter. We all win. All right. I want to ask her about life. I really want to hear what this teenager has to say. She's going to be really weirded out by him. All right. Can you tell me anything about this reality we're in? Kim might stop me before I can make her uncomfortable.
reality. You mean what reality? Economic reality or...
She's taking this question seriously.
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
Yeah. Yeah, she seems like she's actually genuinely, like, you ask her a question and she's like, what is this? Okay. I'm going to say, tell me about the economic reality, and then I'll ask about the physical reality if I can.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15.
Okay, good. I'm glad that she looks and sounds 15. Enough that I you can tell. You can tell. 15 is an excellent time to learn about the economic reality. I mean, you're working, you have a job.
Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frittte. So I guess, like, that's economic.
Yep. Okay, so then I can say, what about the physical reality then? Amazing.
I don't know. What about it?
I see that nonsense has been hyphenated to emphasize the fact that it's not just that it's garbage nonsense. It's that it's the opposite of sense. That's pretty great. Hi, Inky, welcome. And by the way, welcome if anybody else has dropped by and said hello while I was spacing out paying attention to the game. But the game is interesting. I like this game. I like the care that they've taken in fleshing out their world and their people. All right, where are we? I can say, where are we? What time is it? What is the revolution? The coalition? What's that? Someone told me there is one. Or, I won't bother you with this nonsense anymore. I'm just going to go through and ask her all of them. I don't care how much time I've wasted. Oh, wow. It's like almost 4 at game time, isn't it? Am I doing my math right? I think I'm doing my math right. Haha. And I still haven't gone back to the dead body. Look. We'll get there. We'll get to that. Okay.
We're in Frittte
No, I mean, where are we on a larger scale?
as mankind or as a nation or...
Oh my god, she's trying so hard. She's taking him very seriously.
What will her essay prompt be?
Conceptualization, that's mean. I mean, it's affectionate. Conceptualization is affectionately making this observation, kind of making fun of her, but it's cute because it's consistent. Oh, man. Okay. As a mankind, as a nation, like where in the world, or you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna ask as a nation.
We're in.
She rubs her face, thinking Kim is gonna rescue her.
We're in a transition. You know, transitioning from monarchy to democracy, all that stuff.
She nods, then folds her magazine back. She did a good job. I'm gonna ask her some more questions,
We're in
though.
Frittte as mankind.
What will her essay prompt be?
As a mankind. Okay, yeah, so we are a nation in transition from monarchy to democracy. Ish. As a mankind.
In a good place.
She rubs her face, thinking.
I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big. I don't know.
Okay, science is doing great, and there's radio computers. That's stuff we didn't know before. She feels optimistic about the future. Ish. She's also 15.
We're in Frittte as mankind.
What will her essay prompt be?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Haha! If you're 15, you might not get that joke, but everybody who is my age will be like, yes, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Anyway, never mind. I'm going to ask that question, but mine is the Carmen Sandiego.
We're in Revachol, like on the Insulindian Isola.
Okay. Yes, Revachol on the Insulindian Isola. So by throwing so many words and so many names at us, it is harder to hold the geography of this place in my head, you know? Like, I can't quite picture it. Whereas, like, if it were much more like, if we were, like, for example, landlocked, surrounded by other countries, and there was, like, a mountain range, I could probably more easily picture that. But I'm still like, what is an Isola? Let alone the Insulindian Isola. And are there other Isolas around? What does this have to do with all the archipelagos? And, you know, it's really interesting. They set it up in such a way that it is as disorienting for you as it is for the character. And that's brilliant. It's very good writing. It's a very good idea. Very impressive. So I'm going to say thank you.
You're welcome.
She folds her magazine back. Okay, what time is it?
I don't know. Look at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall.
All right.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work.
I wonder if you come here at 10:09, if something happens. Just ignore me. All right. What is the revolution? Let's see, come on. Come on, I'm grilling you. You're giving me lots of information. Clearly, I'm on a high school level here.
When ordinary people take over the government and demands democracy.
Yeah, because she's so used to school that she doesn't think about this as the weird... Why is it... Hold on. Do you see that? Do you see that? It's flickering. It's like something underneath here. It's like there's like a paper or something like that that's flickering and blocking a projection or something like that. Like it's a shadow that's flickering on a surface. Anyway, I think that's in the game. I don't think I'm hallucinating. Anyway, I appreciate that she doesn't think there's anything particularly weird. I mean, I'm weird. I'm clearly a weird dude. But she's like, she's answering my questions without treating me like a weirdo. So I should ask children more often. Okay, so a revolution when ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy. What about the one we had here in Revachol?
Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean.
And like the fact that she's apologetic instead of telling me like it's my problem. That's refreshing. All right. What's the coalition? Tell me about the coalition. That's, as far as I can tell, kind of like I think it's kind of like the UN. I think that's the other countries telling us what to do. The people who came in, the outsiders who disbanded everything and bombed everything and problems.
Our government?
Oh wait, the coalition is our government? I thought the coalition was the... Well, shows what I know.
Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article.
She does not want to be answering this question. Alright, so I won't bother you with this nonsense anymore.
Cool.
She seems happy to return to her reading. I got experience from talking to this child. Can you tell me anything about the dead body? I feel like you get experience for talking to people about their personal-ish stuff. Like asking additional questions, you get the experience, as opposed to necessarily just, like, interrogation because I'm a cop. Alright, tell me anything about the dead body. Let's see.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
She sounds so awkward. They had to have gotten an actual teenager. She sounds too much like an actual teenager not to be one. So I will ask these questions one by one. We'll see what a teenager has got to say. And Kim, you're going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry, my man. Did you know the man who died?
Not really.
Oh! Oh! Does that mean you knew him a little? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think anybody has said anything about this fellow this whole time, so...
No. I didn't know him at all.
Oh, never mind. Okay, well, Ocelot and I got really excited for a moment there. How long has it been there?
I don't know, really long.
She's like, I'm not gonna get good grade on these questions.
I don't know.
So I asked her, what do you think happened?
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Yes. He does sound very soothing and professional. He's very good at soothing and professional.
Okay.
She scratches her nose. All right. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help, typo. When you have this many words, it's fine. It's fine. You can have typos. I will allow it.
Uh-huh.
She brushes a strand of hair off her face and tries to return to her magazine. I'll let her be. Okay, I think that's everything. I am going to have to get some money and come back here. My boys are warping time and space. No biggie. Yeah, I think I've looked at everything there is. I'll need to come back with monies. Or with the bottles to get monies. Equip a flashlight in low light areas. Okay, well that's good to know. I'll have to get a flashlight. Alright. Oh, I never did ask her about the hat. I'm gonna ask her about the hat. Really important questions. I'm sorry.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know. Reality.
She is like a student.
Oh, no.
Unexpected.
I don't know. What about cool?
No, I missed my chance. That's fine. Okay. Apparently I can't ask her about her magazine anymore. Alas. I will never know. This man pointing to this horse statue. I bet that that is connected to the story that Renee told us. Yes, I missed the chance for hat lore. But I did get this music, so it's all good. Have I talked to her yet? I talked to her some, but how much have I talked to her? God, the music is so good. Yeah, but she might have explained why it's a jester's cap. This thing, I want to go click that thing. There's places I can walk to that I didn't walk before. I'm very excited about this. this? Birds? And it looks like a bunch of birds protecting a nest here. This is going to be some sort of a memorial. We'll go look at that in a moment. A bold slogan, Humanox, covers the truck. All right, we'll get used to these bit by bit. Let's go look at this.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
So this, I assume this must have been destroyed. But that would be interesting because I would assume that an important looking dude riding a horse would be royalty, you know? And it would make sense for a statue of the king or of a king in the past to be destroyed during a revolution. But then to be reassembled, it's interesting. I'm sure there's some symbolism there about the fact that it's only together because we chose to put it back together or something. No, I think that it's probably copper, so that's just oxidation. Oxidization? It oxidized. Because it's salt air? I'm not sure. Well, no, but the thing is, it looks like it's put together. I mean, we don't know how tall it was originally, but it looks like it's missing pieces and they've done the best they can. Let's see, who is this? Oxidation, thank you. Like a penny.
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
Okay. Did you notice as he was speaking that there was a strange little cutoff at the end of the name of each time he said the king name? Did you notice that? How perhaps odd it felt? I believe what has happened there is that he mispronounced it by saying Felipe. And rather than have him re-record the line, they cut off the syllable in post. They did a little bit of editing work there. The Squanderer, the greatest of the kings. That's really curious. The opulent and the insane. Can you tell I've done audio editing and also done audio proofreading before? I've had to listen for the editors accidentally cutting off the end of words or the end of sentences, and that's exactly what it sounds like. And then I've cut things myself as I've been editing the audio stuff for Darkness and Starlight. And eventually mysterious other audio fiction project that I will finish one of these days. I just gotta have some confidence in myself that I don't have right now. That would be nice, though. I'd really love to share more of my stories. I'd love to share some original stories with the world. That's what I'm going to work towards. Anyway, hope you don't mind me pointing out little things like that, but I do actually have a professional background listening for things like that, so I'm almost positive that's what happened there. Which would, to me, indicate that was something that was corrected during a proofreading stage. And they were like, it's too late to bring him back in, and it's not a big enough deal. If you can just cut it out. Can you just cut the syllable, then he doesn't have to reread this. So, yeah, but just saying that he's the greatest of, but his nickname is the Squanderer. That's interesting. So the opulent had a lot of money that he spent, but then the Squanderer presumably lost all of that, and then his son went crazy. All right, continue.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
I mean, there's not necessarily something mental health related with opulence and squandering of things. However, encyclopedia, oh, because we heard the creator story from Renee, we are more likely to be able to know who this king is. Watch me fail this because I wasted all of my points on Renee. All right, let's do this. Come on, encyclopedia. We've got an 83% chance of success. I can still mess that up.
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
Profligacy. Oh my god. Rhetoric, please come here and give encyclopedia a hard time for his word choice. So the kings sound like they were not the greatest of kings. Oh, I'm not saying that it's a wrong word. I'm just saying that it's... I'm not saying that the definition is wrong. It's just, it's a very expensive word to choose. It's not a word I know, and I have a pretty decent vocabulary. You might not think that, given that I feel like when I speak, I have a fairly simplistic way of putting words together, but I'm pretty decent on the vocabulary front. If I were really clever, I would come up with some really fantastic vocabulary word to describe the size of my vocabulary, but alas. The expensive kings need expensive words. No, it fits, honestly. And if I may indulge my inner rhetoric. No, there is something to be said for using a word like that to kind of convey the level of excess of the kings themselves. You know, like it's a word that in this case actually kind of gets across what it's getting across by very nature of the word itself, not just the definition. Clever. Also, how the hell do they know this word and this is not their first language? I'm so jealous. I want to be even remotely capable in a second language. And here we've got people with like $5 vocabulary words in their second languages. How dare they? That's okay. I can say with absolutely no shame that the writers of this game are better writers than I am. They are better with words than I am. There is no shame in that. They are clearly very good at what they do. It's like how Toby Fox is a better storyteller than I am. There's no shame in that. Sometimes people are very good at what they do, and you take inspiration from that and learn from it what you can, and then try to do the best work that you can of your own. The first English word you learned was quarrel? Oh, that's fun! What a fun word! What an obnoxious word. Not that for you to have known it, but just the anything that's like a qua sound in English, I feel, is an inherently obnoxious word. I love the hot mess that is my native tongue. It thrills me. I love English. I love the English language so much. Huh. I could have learned to speak a second language from childhood, but my dad vetoed it for understandable but frustrating reasons. All right, encyclopedia, please explain to me how this king was even more excessive than the generally excessive kings.
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol.
Okay, so what this is saying here, taking encyclopedia's $5 words and simplifying this into common speech, basically what he's saying is that this king spent so much money, the entirety of the country's money, so much that the country used to be the superpower, like a global superpower, penultimate century. In this context, because penultimate usually means the second to last, so that would mean 2 centuries ago? Or are they, I'm not sure, because I'm not used to it in this kind of context. If this means, if this just means last century, just last century, okay. All right, so this is a fancy way of saying that. All right. Yeah, so kings and monarchies are problematic. Any sort of unchecked leadership is a problem, because all it takes is one person who cannot be stopped to make bad decisions. So the idea... I have a king? What? I do live in Canada, but I have dual citizenship. I can claim my American citizenship enough to not have a king. Oh man. But yeah, like, so the idea, I don't know exactly how being part of the Commonwealth works. That's a whole thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I find it very strange. Because the US was like, screw you, we don't need you or your king, bye. And Canada was like, mother, I think it is time that I strike out on my own, but don't worry, I'll be home in time for supper. Yeah, yeah. So the idea behind a system of checks and balances is supposed to be that if you have a bunch of people around who can be like, dude, that's a bad idea, theoretically, that can prevent one person from messing everything up with a bad idea, and hopefully increase the likelihood of good ideas coming through. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, I do my best. I know they're not as thorough as they could be, but I figure that they should be hopefully good as a bookmark. You put a bookmark so you don't have to turn your laptop upside down like a book, or dog ear the screen. Pretty sure that would not work so well. But yeah, so the idea behind a system of checks and balances is a great one. Ruling by committee is slow, so we make fun of ruling by committee for being slow and ineffective. But one thing that it does do is it does generally, unless you have like a cult of personality or something like that, but like, from the way it's set up, it prevents one person from ruining everything with their impulsiveness or foolishness or greed or whatever the case may be. So this tells us, though, that Revachol... Because if Revachol was actually one of the superpowers of last century, that's fascinating, because we're in 62, I think, is where we are right now. Well, it wouldn't necessarily explain the mosaics, because the mosaics do mean something about, like, like, it depends on who put the mosaics there. Were the mosaics an expensive thing funded? Like, was that part of the funding that wasted the money? I would be inclined to say no, because, well, although this is the capital. Was this the capital? They saying this is the capital? Yeah, go ahead. You may tell me I mean, I know the year has the apostrophe. You may tell me the year. But either way, we know that at some point, it's 51. Okay, thank you. I was wrong. Okay. So it is nice how effective it is by putting that apostrophe there. Like, we have no idea what century we're in. But hypothetically, within a person's lifetime ago, this could have been one of the greatest superpowers in the world, according to Encyclopedia here, what Encyclopedia is claiming. And then we look at it now and we hear about it now, and it does not sound like that's the case. I just assumed that Revachol's always been a very small and insignificant place. So it seemed a little weird to me that some of these other countries would be like, whatever they're doing there, we've got to stop. But if, you know, 50 years ago when the revolution happened and they put a stop to it, if that was only like, 20 to 30 years out from Revachol having been a superpower, what Revachol does actually matters. Other countries will take note and mirror what it does. So that's interesting, because a lot of the countries with revolutions that have been interfered in that I know of were not global superpowers. That's part of how global superpowers are then able to go in and interfere with them. Now, we can talk about things like perhaps Russian interference in American elections recently. What I'm talking about is the arming of revolutionaries or counter-revolutionaries by the United States in the 20th century at various points. Those were not usually global superpowers that were receiving weaponry in that case. So I guess that Revachol must have fallen enough to be vulnerable to some degree, but still having been big enough recently enough, like significant enough recently enough, to have... that's interesting. Sorry, I'm thinking about this. Hi, broccoli. Broccoli is a vegetable full of many vitamins. It's one of the reasons why I'm functional today, as opposed to how I was... Was that only 2 weeks ago? I think it might have been only 2 weeks ago. Wow. Yeah, well, like, the French getting involved in the American Revolution and the French Revolution having its own thing, like, that's a different situation than we saw you having a revolution and we stepped in and took over and did something. We're like, whoa, 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 no. So, we'll see. Maybe Encyclopedia will give me more information, just rendering all of this extrapolation useless.
His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
Anti-centennial revolution. Yeah, so he did such a bad job. Yeah, so this is basically saying what I said. He did such a bad job being a king that it led to a revolution, an end of the kings, an end of the monarchy. On the Insulindia Isola. Okay. Alright. Bye, Dave. Sleep well. Thanks for staying up super late to hang out with us. Alright, how did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? I'm very, very curious about this. Like, did he do things solely for his own benefit? Did he do things for other people's benefit? Did he beautify the countryside? We'll find out.
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices.
He's a goddamn dragon is what he is. That's clearly the imagery that this is supposed to bring to mind. I think. It sounds very much like a dragon. To specifically be like lay down on your pile of gold. I don't know what a Krugerrand is. I don't know if that's a word that I'm supposed to know, but if it is, perhaps the game will tell me. Because, like, various chalices, ornate weaponry, armor, like, this sounds like a dragon. You just need to have a knight come and slay him.
He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene.
Gold
There were
Sun!
whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
No, it is in fact supposed to be reminiscent of a dragon. They say so right here. Thank you, Encyclopedia has got my back. Sol Aurum, doesn't that mean gold sun? I'm pretty sure. Yes. I got it. I got words. Golden Sun, yeah, yes. That's also a video game. Aurum Vale, yes. Oh my goodness, I should probably get back to that game. It's been over a year. I should probably at least finish Stormblood. then we can get to Shadowbringers and maybe try streaming that. This is crazy. This is pretty crazy. Encyclopedia, fortunately, does not approve of this, as it should not approve of this. Sleeping on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers. That's such an incredibly precise image. It really feels like, it feels real. You could actually see a king doing that because it's so specific. That's what makes something feel real and alive instead of like a fairy tale. Fairy tales have generalities. Fairy tales have interchangeable people because it's not about the specifics of the characters. They in fact usually don't even have names. If they have names, they come from a set list of names that fairy tale characters can have, like Jack or Yvonne. But if you want to make a story feel real and human and alive and memorable, give it the kind of detail that you couldn't possibly make up. I mean, you're making it up, but you couldn't possibly make it up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it may not even, like this may not even be, I'm not saying that this is something that the king actually did, but this story has power to it because it feels so specific and unique and bizarre. Could absolutely be anti-monarchy propaganda. Or it could be real. I would believe the possibility of that. Again, Trump has a gold-plated toilet, doesn't he? Somebody has a diamond-encrusted toilet. Somebody in celebrity land does. Like, these things exist. After a certain point, people go crazy to that degree. It's great. Alright, so this king made himself a dragon. Was he then slain?
The man certainly knew how to live.
Shut up, horrific necktie. Alright. I can say, I would like to sleep on gold, hustler style. Or, the king is the king and he can do anything. Or, wait, really? Wait, really? There's no way that's true. Or, a deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit. Alright, so I'm not going to go with 1. That's not the kind of clown shoes I wear. Number 2 is an observation, but less interesting to me. So disbelief? Or no wonder everything went to shit. I can swear on stream, isn't that exciting? The world behind my I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the whole like film that it seems that the dialogue is on. If you look, the world behind it's swaying slightly back and forth. Unless it's the same. No, because the flicker is there. I don't know. Anyway, to me it looks like, because at first I thought it was just that like there was like trees swaying or something, but it looks like an entire bus, and I don't think there's like a vehicle. I don't think there's any way the vehicle like. Hi Blues, thank you for subscribing. Hello, welcome back. See here, like, so now it's going to the right. Now it's going to the left. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to I can either just believe it or just insult that. Honestly, just insulting it sounds more in keeping with what Encyclopedia said and does not challenge Encyclopedia because I don't want to get into a fight with Encyclopedia. I'm just ignoring horrific necktie.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
See, because I haven't fought with Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia is going to tell me even more. I do want to know all about this Encyclopedia. His fabled cocaine addiction. So I can either say the what now, or I don't want to know. I worry, but I don't have my electrochemistry gloves on, so we should hopefully be okay. I'm going to see. I'm going to ask the what now. Hopefully this won't prompt me to feel the need to go on a bender. We'll see.
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Nose candy. Nose candy. Amazing. He's a cop. He can take somebody else's. Alright. I'd never heard nose candy. Okay, so either, okay, what is nose candy, or this is a lot to process, or so he was addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie, or okay, where is he buried now, which is proceed. We're going to go through bit by bit. I'm really curious to hear, all right, okay, what is nose candy? This, I'm going to ask this question because I want to see whether encyclopedia or electrochemistry answers.
Cocaine.
Oh. Gonna say this is a lot to process. I don't know that it is, but I'm gonna pick it anyway.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
Oh my god. Alright, I mean, maybe that's part of why he squandered all the money on things and rolled around in gold. Because he was high? I don't know. Okay, so it is actually slang. So he was addicted to nose candy. A bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Wow! We will not just remove your family from power now. We will disrespect your family going all the way back history. I mean, granted, it sounds like this fellow deserves people to be pretty mad. But saying that's what the revolutionaries said. That's interesting, because if His Majesty's courtiers say that it helps him connect with the higher realms, that indicates that there were primary sources that mentioned it. But if his mortal remains were dumped in the bay, then he's not buried anywhere at all. Let's move onward.
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
Alright, what happens to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled.
Okay, so communards is just the term that we're using. That's not actually a disparaging term. Okay, good to know. So there's two revolutions that we've talked about then. Because there's the turn-of-the-century revolution here. And there's the something. They did a different term. No, hold on. Before folks get... I can't tell if folks are getting... Oh, thank you, Mac-chan. Okay, clearly I didn't know that's some vocabulary that I'm revealing. I don't know. Okay, so it's just one revolution that happened at the turn of the century. It's good to know. They did say it was about 50 years ago, and we know that we're in 51. Okay, and the coalition. Pretty sure that's like the UN. We'll see. We'll see for sure. That's my working theory at this point. That's how I keep track of that name. And just please do not fight or argue about current events or past events, real world historical events, if you don't mind. I'm not sure if there's an actual fighting going on right now, but just if so, can we please simmer down and focus on the fiction problems. There's plenty of real world issues that are tragically and revoltingly similar to the fictional situation, and I get that.
Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Then who restored it and why, I wonder? Like, is this like the coalition or somebody trying to keep the communards down? Oh, is it if it's banter, that's fine. Okay.
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city.
Oh, this is awful. Okay, so what's awful and funny here is that we can kind of assume that the people who made this decision are not poor people themselves flipping off the king. That this is perhaps more I mean, we don't know for sure. But perhaps more comfortably situated people who have the liberty to think, oh, wouldn't that be funny?
The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
I can say that's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic, or that's such a bad idea, or I really don't get art. Personally, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's one thing if you are choosing to put your public funds in your area into making something for your people and the people around you who would think it was funny. But in this case, you're kind of making a joke at somebody else's expense. The poor part of town's expense. Because you're saying, haha, isn't it funny? They're the poor people and they've got this king. It's differentiating yourself from them. It's othering them. It's money that could be spent helping them in some way, and instead it's making this. And I think that you can absolutely choose to allocate your budget on art. I think that people need art in addition to their necessities. But this just seems in poor taste, not because of the king, but because of the people around. And I don't know. Like, it may be that the Revacholian sense of humor is such that this actually would really resonate. Because I can think of people who would do this. Like, I can think of this sort of thing being something that people might erect themselves. But the way that it's described sounds like it's not they themselves. That the people here were not consulted. The people here are part of the art. They are part of the display. Their poverty is a necessary part. It's a necessary component of what makes the art ironic. And that's frustrating. So the artistic statement of the statue being blown apart is fine. But the placement of it and the way it's set up, to me, seems a bit dehumanizing to the poorer part of town, unless they're involved or this is something specific to Revacholian sense of humor, like I said, which I don't know. I don't know. Maybe so. Because again, it's not that there is no place to put public art in the poor parts of town. I think that you should put public art in the poor parts of town. To me, this seems like if it is not done with the inclusion of people in the neighborhood that it's from, it seems like it's in poor taste. So I'm going to pick that's such a bad idea.
People in Martinaise tend to agree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists.
In other words, yes. Yeah, no, like you could do this exact same display and not have impoverished people be like existing as the like background characters in your hilarity. So, funny chrono. All right.
Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
Frederick wants to make sure that we get the last word, the final word here. All right, well, that was interesting. I could use it. This is yellow. Does that mean it's sealed? Oh my goodness. Look, I can stand around and talk to my brain for infinite in-game minutes. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, clothes. Tank top. Gym vest. Reeking of sweat. This sleeveless shirt is the best choice if you're not afraid to show off your masculine upper body and that hairy chest. Physical instrument. Work it. Alright. So I could put that on instead of this. Oh, I really do like conceptualization. Okay, I see. So this turns red to show me what has decreased. I just don't want electrochemistry because I don't want to lose control to addiction. I mean, I could probably put the gloves on and go talk to the druggie, and maybe I will. I just, like, I don't know. He actually changes his design. That does not fit. Yeah, I think I like this. So I've yet to really feel out quite how like I haven't yet figured out how gamified clothing and changing clothing is in this game. Whether people comment on the things that you wear, whether it just changes your stats. If you get penalized for changing clothes, if you're always allowed to change back. Haven't yet figured that out, but we'll get there. I need to get physically instrumental. Oh look, there's another person. Can I not talk to the person? I gotta talk to the person, come on. Okay, I can talk to the person. You look sad.
A small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face.
Pale Driver. That's a great name.
The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile.
That's so interesting. Ambrotype. Because I can think of what is it, a daguerreotype? The smile. Ocelot's brain is rather fond of this woman's smile. Cyanotype? Okay. Let's see.
It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma? I'm gonna have to ask Grandma. Sorry, Inland Empire is actually gonna get me this one. This one works for me. Plus, it's okay to call an old woman grandma. That's okay, and in some cultures, that sort of thing is normal. Kim is probably gonna have something to say about this, but whatever.
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Huh. Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
I mean, or she could be deaf, that's possible, in which case we can find out whether our Ocelot knows any sort of sign. Let me try snapping my fingers in front of her face just in case she is deaf. Which seems rude. But Ocelot is not the most graceful man.
Wait.
The lieutenant stops you before you can snap. Thank you, Kim. I may not be gracious, but Kim is.
She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why? I wonder. Like, I don't know if he is worried about unleashing my madness on her, or if he's picked up on something on her about her that makes him think that Ocelot is going to do harm here, or if he legitimately is just like, there's no reason to bug an old lady. But I will ask why.
Why? I just told you why.
Oh, he does not like this. Okay, if you say so. Wow, Kim. Kim, he's protective of this old woman. That's interesting. I bet that there is a time and a place and a situation in which Kim will actually talk to you about that, or something will happen, but we don't get to see it. Ruins full of snow. No one lives here anymore. Bombed. It's a good way of not having to fill out an entire city. Just to say it's been bombed, it's fallen apart. We're not going to... Hold on. Okay, is there anything else around here that I could interact with? I think I've done a pretty good job. Oh. Nope. Where are you going? We kind of walk around, we missed something. Alright. Broken buggy. A foreign car kept in good condition. I guess it's not a broken buggy, it's an unbroken buggy. Oh, look at this, we've looped around again. Oh, hold on. Is it just dropped on the ground? I will take it. Okay, I now have a tiny amount of money. Well, here's the big guy. Mr. Military. And boss music. Well, it's not quite boss music, but... Did I talk to this guy fully up here? I might have... you know, I'm gonna come back and deal with this more later. I could go get myself murdered. What do you think? I don't know if car is actually derived from carriage, but at the very least they would have similar words that they would come from.
Hello again, officer.
Oh, okay, no, I already talked to you. Alright. Oh, we could go talk to the car. Do we go talk to the car? We can go talk to the car. Cubicle and top rollers. Thank you, Gummy Bear. Maybe we can go talk to the car. I think we're gonna go talk to the car.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number 57.
It's so weird looking. Like, it looks like a car, but it looks different. Like, the engine thing is up there, and it's got, like, transparent roof. It's just, like, the whole design, everything about it. It's immediately recognizable as a car, but it looks nothing like a car. Even the tires, the wheels are different. They're more like... They've got, like, a million little spokes. And the front ones are smaller than the big ones, which I believe used to be the case a very long time ago, but it's not the case. It's very different. Everything in it looks very different. Like, it looks old-timey, but it also doesn't look like an actual existing old-timey car. Like, it manages to feel like an old-timey car without actually resembling a real-world one. It's really interesting. And the thing is, you might not super die if you get into an accident because you probably won't be going as fast. Part of the reason why cars these days are required to withstand as much as they can, part of it is just because of like laws and things, but also like they go slower. All right, continue.
This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Caprice Kinema motor carriage.
All right, so let's open the door. I'm really curious to see how they're going to prevent me from getting to know my name. If they give me my name this early, if they answer my questions this early, I don't know, we'll be saved.
In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
See, like, all of these things, I can kind of get what they are, and I can kind of get what their equivalent would be in the real world, and I can kind of get how that works, but none of them are right. Steering levers. A steering wheel is not a set. I mean, you also have, like, if you're like driving stick or whatever, like there are some, but it's not the same. A radio microphone on a hook, it's just not quite right. A pull-out toolbox under the seat, that's fine. But the fuel preheater gauge isn't quite right. That's not quite a thing. Like, preheating the fuel, what kind of fuel needs to be preheated? Like, is this like a fire, like, fueled by, like, wood chips? That does not seem like a good idea. Steering levers might have been a real thing, okay, but, like, but none of these things are... none of them are quite relatable. Like, what I'm trying to get at here is that nothing is outside of the realm of normalcy, like, as far as, like, the general idea of how a car works, but none of it is actually how a car that we would encounter or expect to have encountered anytime in I don't know how long, like, would work. So it feels kind of like an alternative, yes, to what we have. Like, it feels like it's similar, but not the same. Like, it doesn't feel like it's... And please don't confirm or deny, but to me, it doesn't feel like this is just past technology. It does not feel like this is just less advanced technology. It feels like this is technology that has evolved in parallel on a different line, in a different way. So we've yet to figure out exactly what all of the, like, underlying mechanics are. Or, like, what is it that our technology had that theirs didn't, and they had this other thing instead. I don't know exactly how that works, but it feels like that. Like an entire alternate history timeline as far as the evolution of technology. It's interesting. All right. I'm going to see what's in the pull-out toolbox, and Kim's going to yell at me.
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Like, can you imagine instead of having a glove compartment? Because this is the equivalent of a glove compartment, which was originally what they kept gloves in when they had driving gloves. But the glove compartment, which is on the front in the passenger side, and you slide that open. Instead, it's a thing that's underneath your seat, because presumably your seat doesn't have the full range of being able to move around like seats can in ours. So this is having a drawer here is standard. I assume the toolbox is to fix the car when it breaks down. We'll find out. Of course, they're neatly organized. This is Kim's car.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
All right.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
He's at least aware that he shouldn't be. He doesn't want to be protective of his tools, but he is. I think we're going to be really glad if we have a hand-cranked flashlight. That's old-fashioned. I'm pretty sure that did exist in the past at some point. I'm pretty sure I've read about that in a book. I'm going to take the flashlight because the loading screen told me that might be useful. Hopefully this isn't going to be a situation where I get them now and then I regret getting them now because I get robbed and then I lose all of my stuff. And then I'm like, oh, if only I'd left them in the car, then I could have gone and gotten them now. We found the flashlight part of flashlight glasses, man. You're correct. Yes. Yes, the flashlight part is complete.
It's robust, weatherproof, and well made. Police issue. Blue.
Amazing. Okay. Well, if it's police issued, then it actually makes sense to take it.
Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss.
All right, I will take that. He already has the glasses and man parts, yes. Amazing. Okay. Red-tipped pry bar. We'll make a Gordon Freeman joke. It's a crowbar, but it's a pry bar. I wonder if there's a difference there.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think.
Okay, well, at least I'm not unarmed, but I don't think I can do much with that. But you never know, there might be a thing I want to open with it.
Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids.
Yeah, or smashing someone's face in, but we won't be doing that. A pry bar is usually flat and thin, while a crowbar is longer and thicker, but this one is heavier than it looks. Interesting. The rubber-handled chain cutters. That'll probably be useful at some point. I don't know when, but probably.
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
Sorry, Kim, but these might be useful.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
I'm gonna run my fingers over one of the steering levers and get yelled at by Kim.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
That's good to know. Okay, so I do know how to drive. So we do have a clutch. Okay. That is a thing that real cars have. I'm going to tap on the fuel preheater gauge.
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
That is not how normal cars work.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
That's so interesting. It feels so lived in. The descriptions that they give you feel very real and lived in.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now.
That's fair, but that doesn't mean we might go somewhere sometime. Oh my god, do I get to sleep on Kim's couch? I wonder if I get to sleep on Kim's couch. I think that Kim would probably let me sleep on his couch before he would have me sleep rough. So we'll see what happens.
Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
Whatever, authority. Alright, let's pick up the radio. See what they do.
The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something.
I'm really curious.
The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
I hope this is the tutorial lady. We'll find out.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Oh! She actually is gonna say it. She's not gonna say it like lieutenant with the English speaker pronunciation. Though isn't it lieutenant if you're British? I don't know. Okay. Precinct 57.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
I have two clown shoes options and one actual human option. So my clown shoes options are come and dispatch, which actually sounds not quite so clown shoes, but it's unnecessary at this point. Or come in Delta 10, this is Firewalker copy, which sounds like clown shoes to me. And then, hi Alice, this is the officer from the 41st precinct speaking. Nice to meet you, which is like a normal human thing. I gotta make a good impression. This is Kim's people. We gotta not be totally clown shoes if we can. For Kim's people, but I don't want to embarrass him. No, I gotta not embarrass Kim too badly. I couldn't do that. I know, but Kim, can you just imagine the sad face that this man would make? Could you live with yourself if you unnecessarily made this man make a sad face? Could you really? So I'm gonna try to make him proud of me by behaving like a human being. I'm gonna try really hard.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I could say, could you connect me to the 41st precinct? I have something I need to report. Or, I was told I need to connect to my station, the 41st Lazarus. Or, I need you to connect me to a civilian, a Sylvie. She may have reported a murder. Okay. So 1 sounds like normal. 2 sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, which Kim, I will disappoint Kim. 3, I'll get to that. That's good. That's a good responsible thing. I'm going to be a responsible grown-up. I'm going to be responsible, no clown shoes. Could you connect me to the 41st precinct? I have something I need to report.
Just a second, officer.
She puts you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you from the radio. His rattly voice is oddly familiar. Okay, then I know him. Then he's going to tell me my name. Then my mystery identity is going to be revealed, like, immediately. I'm going to ruin the game by playing it the way you're supposed to do. All right.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
They're so French. Jules Dieu? Dieu. I think that's Dieu. Okay.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard.
That's so interesting. Apparatus. I didn't realize that was the British pronunciation of that word. Doing proofreading of audiobooks, if the narrator is like the person who's performing the narration is British, I do have to double check. I'll check Merriam-Webster for pronunciations for Americans, but I have to check the Cambridge Dictionary. And it's been very eye-opening realizing pronunciations that I didn't realize differed, like that one. It's really fascinating. We speak the same language, but there are some interesting and unexpected things. And then periodically my stepdad is British, and periodically he'll say something. I'll be like, hold on, Alex, could you say that word again? Wait a minute. It's great. It's funny. Yes. Well, so the thing is the Cambridge one will list both pronunciations, but their recording of somebody speaking the American pronunciation always sounds a little weird. It's funny. All right, so I love that this doesn't have to tell you. In this case, I can assume that we are imagining it because it's a familiar voice. Not actually able to see him through the radio, but we can imagine that we see him. He's gonna know me. They're gonna tell me my name. I'm gonna know my name. I'm almost disappointed. We'll find out.
The man uses relay code. You've got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
That's not good. No, I'm about to clown shoes, and I'm not going to have any choice in the matter. Well, let's hear how it goes. 10-4, Station 41. I've got a urgent business. Over.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over.
Just reporting in. Over. Okay, so I don't have anything to...
10-18, state your message, sir.
Yeah, so I said just reporting in. Okay, so I can report my badge missing. I can say I'm in dire need of financial assistance. There's personal details I'd like to discuss. Oh my god, are they just going to tell me my identity? I just assumed we weren't going to be able to do this. Alright, let me, I'm going to report my badge missing, but I don't know my name. I'm going to, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna goody two-shoes-ish this and do the things it's supposed to. Hopefully this won't bite me in the butt. I'm trusting Kim. I'm gonna do what Kim and I have talked about doing. I'm gonna make him proud. Alright. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
10-4. Your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over.
Lying is an option. I'm gonna metagame for a moment. Please forgive me. Okay. So, like... not calling him Ocelot because I have his real name will be less fun. I don't know that... like, I don't know that I have any reason to actively distrust the cops or the 41st at this point. Like, the fact that lying is an option, I could be doing it because I don't trust them, or I could do this because I want to basically cover my ass. Like, part of me is like, oh, well, if you play the Goody Two-Shoes version, Lauren, it's going to be boring. You're going to follow all the rules, but I'm not going to follow all the rules. There's inevitably going to be rules that I don't agree with, and I'm going to break them, and I'm fully prepared to do so. And it's also possible that we will start off being a cop who's kind of trying to do things right by the cop standards of things, and then eventually we'll wind up being taken off the case. You're a loose cannon, Ocelot. And being like, no, you know, I'm gonna do what's right. I don't care if the law says so, etc., etc., etc. So, I don't think I'm gonna wreck the game. If you could wreck your experience by doing a thing that Kim literally tells you to do really early in the game, they're not gonna do that. So he's gonna have an actual name, probably. I guess we'll find out. We'll deal with it. I guess I can stop calling him Ocelot eventually. Yeah, no, they you know, just trust the process. Just trust the process. They wrote the game expecting that you're just gonna play it the way you're gonna play it. And I'm gonna do this. As much as I love the thought of just going through the rest of the game not knowing my name. I think that'd be great fun. But we're gonna report in. Because I cannot think of a good reason not to. Except that they don't actually make you. So we'll see. I did just save. So if I feel really awful about this, I can always take it back. So, I don't have it. My badge.
10-9, over.
Does that mean repeat? My badge, I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Okay, I'm in trouble.
Is it him? What does he want?
Oh no! Oh, I guess they would recognize my voice. They know who I am. Oh dear. This guy kind of looks like the guy back in the Whirling in Rags. He's got a similar look to his eyes. Let's see. Continue.
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
They're just not going to tell me my name, are they? They know who I am.
He what? He lost his badge?
I'm going to get in so much trouble with my boss. Okay, so either, hey, who is this? Or I can say nothing. I'm going to say nothing. Don't want to get this guy. This guy, I think, is probably bad news. He looks like he's a lot younger than me. I'm not sure.
Who lost his badge?
Wait. This guy's familiar. Don't tell me this, but I wonder if this was one of the guys who was in that flashback that I had in the bookstore. Let's see. They gonna say my name? Will they say my name if I just sit here quietly and let them do this? I think they're just hanging out in the station.
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
I have the context to appreciate this joke now. Because I have the Dick Mullen hat. Amazing. I'm so glad. 'Cause if I had done this without having done the books, I wouldn't have understood that, and I would have been like, wait, is his name actually Dick Mullen? That doesn't make any sense contextually. But now I know. Dick Mullen is a fictional character. As opposed to Ocelot, who's not fictional at all. Alright. Continue.
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
He says, fighting off laughter. They're not going to tell me, are they? Oh my god, this is amazing. You know, of all the reasons that I thought that they wouldn't tell me who my character was, my coworkers are tired of my shit was not... just did not even cross my mind. That's amazing. And somehow so much more plausible. Like, I was worried. Like, I was like, okay, they're gonna have to do something that, like, stretches plausibility. Like, the phones are down. Oh, there's a new person on the job. Oh, everybody said sick. I don't know what it's gonna be. No, they're just done with Ocelot. They just don't want to deal with him.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. I have the hat, though. I didn't. Sorry, Encyclopedia. I don't want to say that. Thank you, Encyclopedia. Thank you for continuing to have my back.
Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
So I can either say, come on, operator, tell them to stop. This is serious. Or, ha ha, officer has lost his badge. Ha ha. Like I'm the first cop to ever misplace his badge. Or, can't we just move on? I want to get it reported and be done with it, which is proceeding. All right. How can I not do what authority tells me to do and still pick an option? This is not a question to you. This is a question to me. Okay. I can't defend myself, though. I am contractually forbidden from doing what authority says. Because I said so. It's in my contract with myself. All right. I'm not gonna pick the first option, which is silly. I'm just gonna move. Oh no. The problem is I want to see what they have to say, but I don't want to agree with authority. I want more dialogue, but I don't want to feed authority. What do I do? Oh no. I didn't think about this. Authority is calling on my one truest weakness. What do I do? Okay, fine. Haha. Officer's lost his badge. Haha. Like I'm the first cop to ever misplace his badge. Just gonna poke them a little bit. I'm just gonna see what happens, see what they say.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh no! No! I'm sorry. I take it back. I said nothing. No. This is so bad. This is so bad. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, goddamn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is a big deal.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
I really like the translation. It's funny when he's translating me. But it's also funny when he's translating this other guy. I also love that we can hear this other guy, but we're still getting translated. Yes, I'm joking.
Mullen dicked us.
They're just gonna call me Mullen. They're just gonna call me Mullen from now on. I bet the fans call him Mullen. Alright. I want to get it reported and be done with it. Even the kid, I swear this kid was part of that flashback that I had. Maybe I'll go back and check. Proceed.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Thank you. Yes, I will do that. Hey, I got some experience. I completed a task. Look at me! Kim, aren't you proud of me? Please be proud of me, Kim. Oh, I'm trying. And I don't get to know my name because they're just going to joke about me being Mullen.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
They literally call... Okay, everybody knows who they're talking about when they call him Dick Mullen. Now I want to go back and see what his reaction to Dick Mullen was when we first started looking at the books. If he got particularly mad because they call him Dick Mullen because they make fun of him all the time for being incompetent. Alright, well, I have no reputation. Honestly, like, my reputation with my cops is so bad that, like, what's it gonna do? How could I sink further? I mean, I could probably sink further.
What's going on?
Oh my god.
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
So I guess the badges are pretty important.
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
They're really mad. Look, guys, you haven't fired him yet. So kind of this is on you, I think. Actually, don't know if they can fire cops. I don't actually know how any of this works. Alright, so could you all please just stop saying lost his badge for a moment. No, you're just gonna egg them on, Ocelot. Alright. Why did they send him to investigate something that is very clearly fraught with political intrigue and drama? Why did they send him anyway? Why don't they just have him be like a little coffee gopher boy? I don't know. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna whine a little bit. Could you all please stop saying lost his badge for a moment? Just because I'm gonna egg them on. I'm sorry.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
No! No, Jules! Jules, you made it worse! Jules, you made it worse!
Why? Did he find it?
The room at the other end of the line erupts in volcanic laughter. Oh no!
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
Oh my god. Jules is incredibly dry, incredibly biting sense of humor is amazing. He kind of makes me think of like Alfred from Batman, like levels of very, very, very dry, but actually really funny.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
To be fair, I'm not very good with comebacks, so Ocelot and I can have this in common. It'd actually be really funny if you had a comeback, if you could wittily, cleverly snap back at them.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it.
That you can hear laughter in the background. No. Alright, enough with this now. I have other things to discuss.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
The animated conversation in the back is making it difficult for him to hear you.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Captain Sober. I honestly feel really bad for him. Like, it's funny. It's hilarious dialogue. But it's really sad.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
The room roars with laughter.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you?
What is half-light again? I don't think I have a gun. I don't think they would give me a gun. Fight or flight. Poor fellow, he's freaking out. I don't have my gun. My fight or flight instinct is flipping out here. So I can either say, oh god, it's not here, or I don't have my gun. Say, oh god, it's not here. Just the humiliation and upsetness. We're gonna go with that.
Okay, it's gone. Your gun is most definitely gone.
I don't know that I don't know that I believe that I had one. But Ocelot has no way of knowing. And they know that he's not.
Don't sweat it, Bratan. You don't need a gun to have fun. We can still have fun. It's not all over.
Shut up, Necktie.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
I could try to convince them that I didn't lose my gun. I have even chances of succeeding, and it's a red check, so that means you only get one chance. I am so sorry, buddy. It is worse to try and fail to lie about something this big than it is to say nothing. See, you're thinking about it like a game. I'm thinking about it like weighing my chances and weighing my risks. Nothing that I do here is going to be good. No situation is good with my fellow here. I'm going to choose not to try and likely fail. Sorry. I'm going to get this over with. This is probably going to have really far-reaching repercussions. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this to him. I think I'm just going to let it wash over. I'm sorry, Ocelot.
10-1, you're breaking up. 10-9, repeat please. Over.
Don't say anything.
10-9, come in, officer. Over.
Remain silent with terror. Oh my goodness.
Come in, officer. 10-9, repeat message please. Did you misplace your firearm? Over.
Are they railroading me?
Just say you lost your gun. Anything else would only make the situation worse here.
No, that's correct. Honestly, Rhetoric and I are on the same page here. I'm inclined to trust and listen to Rhetoric because Rhetoric is my pal. You still didn't give an answer. You still didn't answer. Host Almighty, you still haven't answered anything. Wow, your likelihood of lying goes down each time. You don't do that. That's really funny. You start off with a 50-50 chance of convincing them. Now you have like almost no chance. That's amazing. You could just quit the call. I could quit the call. No, I'm not going to quit the call. Your chances don't just go down. The game makes fun of you for it, too. To really pour salt in that wound. All right. Yeah.
He says he doesn't have it.
I said that's affirmative. Over.
Dear God, he lost his gun. Oh my, I can't.
The man succumbs to laughter again.
This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself, but Disco here made him piss his pants.
I wonder who the giant of Coco Nur is. They're calling me Disco.
Fuck. He lost his ass. He still got his wiener. Oh, man.
I love the ad-libbed "oh man" at the end there, and that they kept it. That's wonderful.
I'm not going to.
Thank you, Jules. I think that I should say something here. I think that I should respond to that joke.
Ask him.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no!
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over.
Oh my god. So I'm obviously not going to pick the second answer. Sorry. For so many reasons. But, I can either be upset about it or turn off. The fact that these are your options really says something, because you can imagine this man snapping. He sort of tries to be good-natured. He kind of tries to be the cool guy. They make fun of him again and again and again. Honestly, if the line were not so utterly repulsive, I would want to play him being angry, but I cannot bring myself to pick that in particular. You know? Like, if it were in some way challenging Sergeant Torson's own sexual prowess, I would pick that, I think. But the way that this line is written, I can't do it. As funny as it would be to hear Jules's translation of it. Well, the character cannot be me myself. I don't even drink. So there's a lot of ways in which he cannot actually be me myself. But I did build him in such a way that playing him is close enough to the way that I piece things together and think about things that it's more comfortable for me. But I just cannot. I'm gonna snap in a hurt way, but I'm not going to cross a line that I'm personally not comfortable with. And yeah, I'm not even a real cop either. That's true. No, well, so one of the problems with role-playing a character that is a predetermined character in a game is that they have to, by definition, provide you with a finite list of choices that you can make. So, like, for me, that will never register as playing as myself, because they can't do that. They could never put the actual things that I would do, but they have provided with some options that are pretty close. Mostly, for me, the thing I wanted to avoid was, I wanted to avoid situations in which I figured something out and my character didn't. So, or like, I had a reaction to a thing and my character wouldn't have that as an option, because of, like, I guess, like observation and empathy. Like, those are two things that I'd like to think that I bring to real life, and those are things that I wanted the character to have. Generally, when I roleplay characters, they tend to have some variation on that. They may not be the same person, but that's I enjoy that. But it is sometimes funny playing a character and consciously choosing to make things worse and picking the wrong answer because it's what they would do that would be in character. I have a harder time with that with games like this, where I'm not presented with where basically if I'm not inventing a character's personality, then I want to do what that character would do. And in cases like this that are kind of in the middle, I try to figure out what the character's personality is and be consistent with that. And it actually gets to be pretty uncomfortable. It's honestly, I don't generally enjoy it. I actively avoid games in which I'm supposed to roleplay a character in a pre-written game because I find it usually deeply unsatisfying. I would go so far as to say I loathe it. I detest it. I hate it. Some of my least favorite gaming experiences in my life come from trying to play games like that. This game is really interesting and it's beautifully written and has an extraordinary amount of depth to the options that you can choose and the nuances that shift based on what you do. But I think that the world is reactive enough and the writing is humanistic enough for me to be okay with playing it. But it's funny because people will like ask me or sometimes make fun of the way I'm playing the character. That I find a bit frustrating. But it is kind of an uncomfortable spot because for me, like, I want the game to tell me who this character is and then I can choose which version of him to play. And the game's not going to do that. And so for me, then I'm trying to understand who is this person that has this wide range of possibilities available, that these are the dialogue choices that are presented to me. That he is a person who could say some of the kind and compassionate answers that have been available to him, and who could also then say option number 2, that is even on the table. Like, I don't like games like I don't like BioWare games. And I don't like games with a very flat morality system where you can like go from helping Granny across the street to like murdering puppies. You know, that I find that very frustrating. Build-A-Bear. The bear has been torn apart previously. Yeah, I don't know, because... Yeah, I know, Blue Glass. I'm really predictable. I'm sorry. I once almost got a job offer because of complaining about why I don't like BioWare game stories writing. Yeah, I think that's fair, Aether, that we do have sometimes gut reactions, things that pop into our head as temptations, whether it's almost as intrusive thoughts. Like the horrific necktie, for example, feels like intrusive thoughts. Or just a thing that's not quite to the level of an intrusive thought, but a thing that like your first thought may be that, but your second thought is, no, I would never do that. I would never say that. No, but the thing is, communist bastard, by choosing a line like that, you are perpetuating the system. And I cannot condone misogyny and the objectification of a woman, the using a woman as a sexual object to insult a man. Fuck that. No. I can swear on this stream, so I can say fuck that to hell. I will not say that. And if I see somebody say that, unless they are in a circumstance in which they are personally, physically at risk, or somebody else around them is personally, physically at risk, and so playing along with that sort of thing is necessary to provide physical safety, then yes, you can get away with a lot of things, and I will excuse and understand that you are doing so to protect yourself. But if you are perpetuating that system because you're too much of a lazy, sexist asshole to challenge the... By perpetuating a system like that, by playing into it, you are allowing it to continue. And other people will pay the price. If you normalize the dehumanization of women among people who are proven to have shockingly high rates of domestic violence against women, you are not an innocent party by continuing to perpetuate that system, by normalizing that way of talking. No, you are not innocent. You are taking part of that. And I will judge you for that, and I will not participate in that, even in a work of fiction. So, I understand that people have to do a lot of things for their own safety and the safety of other people. People have to resort to desperate things sometimes, and I understand that. But if you are a person in a position of any power or privilege whatsoever, it is on you to break those norms so that people who do not have that power are not harmed by them. And I will call on everybody watching this stream to not just sit back and let a funny joke wash by. Call it out. I beg you, if you are a person on equal footing with people who are doing and saying things like this, call them out on it. You don't have to come to blows, but even just saying that's not funny, man, knock it off. Even just choosing not to laugh. You can do that. You have the power. And I ask you, please, for the sake of everybody in the world who is harmed by these things being normalized, please, do what you can. We can't save the world in a big way. We cannot take our shining sword of social justice +5 and go and conquer the dragon. But what we can do is make small changes, a little bit at a time. What you do, what you say, how you act, the example that you set, the way you respond to things, the energy you put into the world, that you give to the people around you, it will ripple outward. Slowly. On a small scale. Perhaps, yes. But if enough of us do these small things that are within our power, that small power adds up. It is so powerful. It is so important. Sometimes it's the only thing we've got. And I don't know about you, but I literally can't sleep at night sometimes thinking about how powerless I am to change things that so desperately need to be changed. But there are some things we can do. And so I just ask people, please, think about that. Think about the power that you do have. I'm not asking you to change the world overnight, but think about the small powers that you do have, the things you will stand for, the choices that you make, as little as they may seem at the time, and just do your best. And it's all right if you slip up, and it's all right if you're scared one time and you just can't do it. Like, I'm not asking for like S rank 100% completion. Yay, no mistakes. This is life. We're humans. That doesn't happen. But more often than not, just try to keep doing better every day. That's all I ask. Sorry. I got a little carried away. But I do believe in this. I do very firmly believe in this. Please, I'm not asking you to endanger yourself or other people, but find the opportunities to make a change and as cliche as it is, be the change you want to see in the world. That's all we have control over. And it can make a difference. Think about the times that other people have changed the way you think about things. It can be done. Anyway, I have feelings. I have feelings. Welcome to Lauren the Flute plays video games, folks. We're here to have a good time and play video games, right? But I do mean it. And I do believe it. And I do try my best. And that's all, at the end of the day, that's all we can ask of ourselves. Alright. There is no good answer here. There's only bad answers and worse answers. But I have to pick one. So I guess I'm gonna pick defensive, but not offensive. One thing that I do appreciate in this game that also Night in the Woods and Oxenfree both did is that you can wind up talking and have no good answers and regret that you even started. With Night in the Woods, it was so deeply frustrating to realize that there was no good answer. Night in the Woods is great because it gives you dialogue options, but May has a very strong and distinctive personality, and so sometimes that means that your dialogue options are all awful things that I would never say, things I would never do, but May would. It's a fantastically written game. Some of the most stylized dialogue I've ever encountered, but absolutely fantastically done. All right, let's go with number 1. Yes, I lost my wiener too. Just lay off, okay? I'm gonna keep this going. It feels a little funny to keep going the game after that whole outburst, but I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. Sometimes May will say a thing that is not what you thought she was gonna say. May, no, is basically that. It's a great game. I love that game. If you like that game and you haven't watched my playthrough for it, there was the time during the replay that Scott Benson dropped into our stream and answered a bunch of questions about the game, and we got to tell him our stupid inside jokes. It was great fun. He's really cool, and I'm very glad that he is out there putting his stories into the world and making a difference that way. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna do this.
He acknowledges your joke and asks you to lay off.
Jules is doing a good job of translating that.
Lay off. Lay off? Tell him we'll lay off when he retreats the goddamn police property that he has been entrusted with.
Yes, I understand. I'm going to have to find these things. These are my new goals.
Satellite officer.
I'm gonna say, I can either say I heard him and I'm on it, or no, I think I'm good. I think I'm good without my gun, thanks. That's concerning. Given that this is a man who tried to drink himself to death, I am concerned about him having a gun, yes. But I like the fact that Jules starts talking, and Jules's line is delivered not as though he is ... He is not trailing off. He starts his line, and the voice actor seems to have been directed to do the line as though you are going to interrupt. So it is what Ocelot would do. How you choose to interrupt is up to you. All right. I'm going to say I heard him and I'm on it. I would rather not have my gun, but I'm not going to tell them that.
10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
They're static.
Oh, God,
The man is fighting back tears.
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over.
I can't ask them for financial assistance, not after that. I'm going to sleep on the streets. No, I'm going to sleep on Kim's couch. It'll be great. And all of AO3, well, there was only one bed. Them. All right. Hold on. Can I look at my character sheet? Can I look at my character sheet from here? I can! Okay, sweet. Is it my thought cabinet that I want? Yes, no, it's this one right here. Can I not? Oh, I can't. I wanted to check and see if I had a... But no, it's grayed out. You can't do that. Oh, wait, no, I can get that. Okay, track down your badge. It's unclear how you should go about finding a tiny piece of plastic in a world as huge as this. Maybe you'll just stumble across it down the line. Miracles happen. Or... And someone must know something about your lost firearm. Maybe a district authority, like someone high up in the union. Or someone local who saw you with it before you passed out. The Whirling's absent bartender. You could also ask the local pawn shop. So I will go look for my gun. There was something else that I needed to do, I thought. Call your station's Lazarus. Is that what I'm doing right now? I think that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't have a thing about fire. Yeah, I'm gonna end the call with them.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
The static ends with a loud click, then everything is silent in the cabin. Kim will have heard this. I wonder if he will pretend that he didn't hear this.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier, around a dozen cops.
This is imagination, I assume, and not that I'm psychically connected to the cops, but you don't know. Maybe.
The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minnow enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
Judith Minnow.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
She asks, startled. Jean-Vic turns to her and says,
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
He stops to think. Okay, so I don't think that Ocelot is getting this. I think that this is a meanwhile for our benefit as a player. We'll figure that out. So my partner. This is my partner. Okay. Kim's a much better partner. Vikmar. Ah, okay, thank you. I can say that.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean, near the entrance.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. That was some gnarly shit there.
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
She looks down at her neatly polished black shoes. There is a quiet firmness to her voice when she speaks.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
The crowd in the room has started fidgeting uncomfortably. Someone's trying to slip out unnoticed. I wonder if he used to be somebody that people respected.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words.
He sighs heavily and turns to address the room. That is so sad. Yeah, that is a man who tried to get worse.
This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain, or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to pull his shit together.
Okay, there's actually something kind of beautiful about that. It's complicated because these folks have been absolutely awful to him. It sounds like he's been probably awful back. But there is a humanity and a respect for humanity, if not for him as a person here.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Old boy lights another cigarette. Like, she's kind and kind of reminding them of their humanity. But yeah. So I've got a couple of days to get things together.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
They're covering for me. Frankly, them being willing to cover for me actually is worth a lot, I think, given everything. Like, Mac is obviously not my favorite character. But, I wonder if you're really, I mean, if you're really awful, Jules is still gonna translate it into something probably a little less awful. But I like that. There's something very humanizing about this that I appreciate.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
I know there's other stuff to call, but if I may be allowed to role play the character here, I'm gonna say he's done here. I hope that Kim has something to say about this. That was a really nice note to end on with that conversation, though. Like, I didn't expect that. I did not expect them to have compassion for him, and I should have, because the people who are writing this game believe that people can have complicated personalities, complicated relationships, but have compassion be part of that. Like, it's a beautiful scene, not because it's feel good all around and you're like, oh, I am touched, but because it has this kindness and humanity underneath it, despite all of the flaws and the needless cruelty. Like, at the end of the day, we're complex creatures. I don't think people are scum. I think that people are complicated, and that can mean bad things and that can mean good things. And I think most good people are capable of bad things and most bad people are capable of good things. And it's I think that it is a comforting fiction that we tell ourselves otherwise. I think if we tell ourselves that there are good people and there are bad people, that makes the world feel safer somehow. But that's not how it works, and that's a dangerous thing to think. All right. See if Kim has anything to say about that.
Yes?
No. He doesn't. This song is beautiful. I mean, I suppose I could continue and go back and investigate the body again, I think was what we were gonna do. There's the bookstore. I could go talk to the pawn shop dealer. Maybe I'll go talk to the pawn shop dealer. Pawn shop owner. If I can figure out how to get there again. And then next week we can deal with the body. What is this? Oh wait, no, never mind. Those are... Wait, is there something else in here? Tools. Oh! Flashlight. Equip this to discover secret orbs in shady areas. Oh! A police flashlight bearing the logo of Grundstellung RAO. The small dynamo packed inside this handheld illumination device theoretically gives you the ability to produce a tiny amount of electricity anytime, anywhere. Theoretically. The red-tipped pry bar has Carson T Heavy Duty engraved just below the handle. It is satisfyingly heavy and perhaps one of the most useful tools to carry around. Oh, I think there's some things that I could probably try to pry open, but I have no bodily strength, so we'll see how that works. The meanest looking pair of cutters you have ever seen, made in Gottwald by... I want to have that W sound like a V. I don't know if that's correct. That would be Volschirm. I don't know. That's probably wrong. I'm not even gonna try. I don't know what that language is. No chain, wire, nor barbed fence will ever stand in your way again. They look hungry, ready to chew steel. They do kind of. Oh, you've got a pronunciation for me. Vorkzeug. Thank you. Okay. I should probably have been able to. At one point I was trying to learn German. But I did not successfully. Oh, that's right. There's that doesn't. Oh no, never mind. There's that the lady from the corporation. She's here. I've got her. I can talk to Cindy. I can investigate what's going on with my gun before my gun kills somebody and I get framed for murder. So the fact that I'm just finding clothes and picking them up indicates to me that I can probably change clothes out with some regularity. So that's interesting. Let's see. Because, like, I mean, I knew logistically you could do it, but I wasn't sure as far as, like, the way that the game would respond to it. Especially since you can't take the necktie off. Although, honestly, I do think you would miss something not having the necktie your first playthrough. Where is this it? This is it. Let's try to change our gloves out. Just gonna pull off those gloves and pull on those other gloves. I thought I tried to take the necktie off and it wouldn't let me. Anyway, let's inventory. There we go. I thought I tried to take the necktie off and it said no. Clothes. We're gonna put on these gloves. Alright, let's see what happens here. This might be a bad idea because I don't want this man to be a bad influence on... I'm trying really hard to bring... To do... We'll see what's going on with this fellow over here.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Okay. Okay. I can't tell what he's on. That's fine. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by cops?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Well, that is... I don't know what I expected. That was quick. I wonder who she is.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God.
I just took a morale drop. Because I'm humiliated. I wasn't humiliated with the little girl, I don't think, when it turns out that I had talked to her. Alright.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
I'm sorry, Kim. So I'm gonna say, wait, I sold you my gun?
You...
With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Okay, actually that's better than I thought. That's better than I thought.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I was probably on something, and he was probably on something. He's trying to spare me. Honestly, I have no secrets from Kim. From here on out, we will see if that is a bad idea or not, but I've got no secrets from Kim. I'm probably going to take another morale point, but we'll do this.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
Yeah, I said I feel like there's something you're not telling me. So I'm going to say, what was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight, and that you need the money.
I kind of figured. Yeah. That's one of the hazards. I could talk about some facts related to this, but I don't know that that's... But it is a danger to have a gun in the house with somebody for whom suicidal ideation is not an alien thing. It is dangerous.
When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
I'm gonna investigate a little bit here. I hope that's all right. If this is a topic that is not a good topic for you to engage with, I would recommend, just in case, for safety's sake, that you step away. And if you are in our Discord server and you're in like stream spoilers, or if you don't want to go into stream spoilers, you can just sit in stream chat and say like, I'm here writing out the content, and the mods will let you know when it is safe to come back. So you can do that if you want to. I'm going to continue investigating, if that's all right with you. Just want to give people a moment in case they need to step away. I figure if you're a fan of this game, you probably know where it can go. For me personally, this is not a trigger, but for other people, quite reasonably, it can be. So please take care of yourself, and do not put yourself at any risk here. Yeah. With that said, I will go ahead and continue on with the game, but we will try to have if you perhaps don't know when this kind of content will come up, but you're all right with being in the stream spoiler channel, I will ask the stream spoiler chat folks let each other know if there's like content warning, content mods, I trust you, let people know there's a possibility that this might happen. So like if that's the case, like step into stream chat and we'll take care of you there if you want, or something like that. We'll have a policy on that. That's what I've done in the past with heavy topics, and it seems to have worked. So all right, then in that case, I'm going to ask, how much did I sell the gun for? Because I'm curious about it. Oh, thank you, Ampy, if you're taking care of that. Thank you. How much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
Okay.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though.
I do appreciate and respect that this man tried to pawn off the gun for self-defense. Also, Kim's halo seems even more pronounced in this dark environment. I'm going to take my flashlight out soon here.
This has got to be the most. Wow.
He has to know.
There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice.
Yes. Yes, there is, and there should be. I feel like this is an appropriate thing to say. I'm going to say, happens to the best of us, I guess. Which is an awkward, I don't know what else to say, but not as bad as two.
It certainly does, especially in Rivershow.
That's not great. Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
Tell me more about her.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Please tell me more about her.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Yeah, and I assume that guns are probably not as prevalent here as they are in, say, certain parts of the United States.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
So I can say there's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabid fans. Too much clown shoes, sorry. Maybe she's a vigilante, wants to prove she can do our jobs better than we can. I don't think that's the case. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizens' militia? Or, I'm sorry I sold my gun. Alright. So, here, two things are at odds with one another. There is Lauren, the investigative player, who wants to get to the bottom of what's going on. And I would choose number 3. However, if I were to roleplay this character as a person, as opposed to as an avatar for me to move through this game world and explore this mystery, I would choose number 4. Because that is the only thing I can imagine a person saying between that call. Because he doesn't know what the cops said afterwards. He doesn't know that they're buying him 2 days' time. That is a man who is beaten down and sad. So then I have to ask myself, am I actually role-playing a character, or am I a player playing around in a game sandbox world, investigating things and picking the answers that are interesting to me? Fortunately, number 3 is not going to harm my character. Hello, Lita. Thank you for raiding. Welcome. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you are if you're Disco Elysium fans, but we are having a fairly heavy conversation. Okay. All right. I have a very strict no spoilers, no backseating policy with this game, stricter than most people. Apologies for that. But we've just been discussing the missing gun. So if you are familiar with the game, then you are aware of the heaviness of the conversation that we're having. But I am currently indecisive. I haven't been consciously role playing in this game, because I generally don't do that with games, because I generally find that role-playing games don't actually let me role-play to my taste, so I prefer to play as an existing character. But I am at odds with myself right here, trying to decide between a serious, I'm engaged with the situation and I want to explore it and get to the bottom of it answer, or what I think would be more likely for a character to actually say in the situation, which is probably less likely to actually lead to more conversation. So perhaps I will break with role-playing and pick the answer that Lauren would pick and decide in the future if that's something I want to continue doing or not. We'll see. Those things haven't really been at odds. But I haven't felt like I've had a handle on my character's personality, such as it is, until very recently. I really like the emotional impact, the incredible simplicity of the line of 4 is just like, there's so much pain and so much shame that it feels like what a person would actually say in the situation. 3 is just 2 together. What am I doing? What am I doing? How am I playing this game? What am I gonna... I mean, I can always change my mind going forward, but... This is not even what kind of cop am I. This is, am I the cop? Or am I the Lauren? I don't know. Because there would be a slight shift in my mentality if I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. That is an interesting tagline. No, I wasn't aware that was the tagline. You might have told me and I forgot because my memory is terrible. Me and Ocelot, we've got that in common. Lauren, I'm such a cop. I'm the coppiest cop that ever cop. No. I didn't generally break a lot of rules growing up. But if I thought a rule wasn't fair, I would break it, and then I would complain at the teachers who got me in trouble for it and be like, this rule is not fair and here's why. I was a very serious child. Some things have not changed that much. What do I do here? What do I do here? Yes, the main character is Disco Ocelot. Sorry. Not knowing anything about the characters, the 2 main characters, I looked at the cover art and decided that it was the adventure of Revolver Ocelot and Glasses Flashlight Man. Together, they fight crime. It turns out they actually do fight crime together, but I didn't realize that because I didn't realize they were actually cops. I think Disco Ocelot's a great name, and you know what? Some of his coworkers called him Disco, so it's canon. Oh, man. I'm gonna pick 4, even though it's probably a less interesting answer. I'm sorry. I'm gonna see what happens, actually. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna pick I'm sorry. I'm sorry I sold my gun.
Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our focus on the murder investigation. Okay, actually, I think that Kim liked that here. Yeah, no, 3 does sound like a police procedural show. It doesn't sound like a thing. The thing is, 3 feels like a thing that Lauren trying to get answers, talking to a person, picking dialogue options to see what information I can unlock. And then it's a perfectly fine, serviceable line of conversation. Like that it serves that well. But it doesn't sound like something a person would say. The thing a person would say is just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I let you down. I'm sorry about all of this. I'm sorry about everything. That's what was in those lines. But Kim understands. Yeah, we're gonna try to get to the bottom of it, Kim. I'm sorry.
This mess. He means your mess.
Yes, I know, but he is going to try to help because clearly something's very wrong. Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
No, I actually will be able to do some investigation on that. I suspect guns are not the most common thing here. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hey, maybe my spidey sense will help me. Since I put a couple points... Well, I put a point in it. Put another point in it. Eventually, maybe I'll have spidey sense. It'd be great. Okay, so at least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
I got experience. Alright, I'm gonna pull out my... There we go. How are you holding it, sir? What are you doing? Interesting.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away. Some of us have photonic sensitivities.
Ha!
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
respond to this, but this man's thing is light. It was, to me, it would have been shocking if there hadn't been, at the very least for him. I don't know if everybody else will respond to this, but I figured that he was going to say something about this. Yeah, and the animation is great. I want to talk to him about things. I want him to tell me what his deal is, though. Okay. No, this is my thing. Just keep holding it. Oh, man. The thing is, like, well... Okay, let's see what happens if I... Oh, right. Sorry about that.
I do appreciate it.
And I'm gonna go around and look at things. We're gonna do this. The thing is, I don't want to make him mad. Sorry, I forgot.
Officer, the flashlight, please.
You don't get to... Okay. Interesting. Alright, so you don't get to try both options. You only get one option. Alright.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Okay, no. Alright. Well, I thought that maybe that would get something that I could use to try to figure out what his deal is, but I was incorrect. However, no. Before I do this, I am going to take these gloves off because I do not want electrochemistry to ruin everything for me. It's going to try to get him to do drugs. I don't want him to do drugs. Did get a unique interaction. No, that's true. Sort of sorry I didn't push it because it would have been interesting. But, all right. So, I mean, electrochemistry wants... Honestly, all of Ocelot's weirdnesses are trying to help in their own way, I think. But we don't have to appreciate their help. So I've got a little tiny bit of money. Hold on, I'm gonna... I think... Oh, that's right. We've also got the... We can go into the apartment. We can go talk to the apartment. Content extracted. Mission complete. All right. So a scary looking woman. This is the wrong way. A scary looking woman has my gun. How did she know that he sold it? She must have been watching him closely. She's planning something, that is clear. What is this? Good night, Nick.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a whole thing to look at. Well, we might look at this next week. I want to go to the I do really want to go to do the apartment building. All right, so I'm just going to take a look at this. Main Hall Building A, Andrew Orlando Hare, SCA, Artemitep's Boxing for Young Athletes and Gym, 24 Hours Window, Emma's Fashion Atelier, Fabron's Taxi, the rest has been burned off, Slipstream SCA, Fortress Accident SCA, Revachol Ice City, Main Hall Building B, Whirling in Rags, East Delta Pinball, and Empty Card. Okay, I don't know what SCA stands for here. But Slipstream is interesting because Slipstream is a genre of fiction that is kind of like sort of like magic realism, but more science fictional, if that makes sense. Fortress Accident. It's interesting. East Delta Commerce Center. I don't even know what that is. All right. Empty card.
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Aha.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Interesting. There's a lot of investigating to do here, and I think I should probably shut down so that I can work on... I've got some freelance work to do. I gotta pet my kitten. Maybe I'll have a piece of chocolate. You know how it is. Yeah, because I usually shut down at 10. And if I let myself with this game, I'll keep going. I know I'll keep going. So Building B. So East Delta Pinball has an entrance from Building B. And Whirling in Rags is Building B. I'm really curious. I want to call. Can I call?
A call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce
Can
Center.
I call at least? Can I call one of them? Just see what happens. Just to see what happens. Can we see what that does? Do you mind if we just do that? Then we'll shut down. I'm sorry. I'm just really curious. There's so much to do. It's like almost 5 o'clock in game time. I want to see it all. I might wind up doing a little bit of, is Kim gonna leave at 5? Is he gonna go? I'm gonna sleep on a park bench. We'll find out. Alright, let's see what happens if we press the button for main hall building A.
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
Oh, hello. I know both of those names.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Oh, she knows me now. So I can say, Plaisance, it's me. Please open the door. I'm trying to get in. I'm not going to try to impersonate Kuno. Like, there's no reason for me to do that. I'm sorry, drama. I'm sorry, drama. I'm sorry to let you down. We're not going to clown shoes here. But I'm just going to say I'm trying to get in.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were...
There's a spot of static that overrides her words.
But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
Okay.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Okay, so I might just have to go through all of these. But I should probably shut down. I should probably shut down. Oh, man. Okay, so I really want to go into the apartment. I should probably get rid of some of these saves, shouldn't I? Man, look at this. We started it. It's been 2 months, 2 whole months. So we've gotten through a single day. I'm good at this. Yeah, so next time we can start off with the call box, potentially. Maybe we can go talk to Cindy. We've got the apartment building that we can get into. I really want to talk to that fellow Martinez. And then, of course, there's the body that we need to investigate. And then talking to Kim. But we're gonna see how that goes. Yeah. This has been fun. Like, I feel like I haven't taken too long this time. I didn't like have as much dead time as I usually do of Lauren just rambling about things. I feel like I did all right. I did ramble. I always ramble some, but I feel like this has been a pretty good pace. There's always something going on. We did cover a lot of ground today. I don't even know what I'm gonna name this video on YouTube, so if you've got any suggestions, please let me know. Cause I don't know. Oh, I'm glad Spoiler Chat had fun. I'm always happy that's there. Oh man, Carno, that's a good one. Post that maybe, or message me about it. Is there anything else I need to say? I'm sorry that I missed Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. On Tuesday. I was not feeling great, as I've mentioned. I've been having some health issues, but I am doing a lot better. And I will be talking to my doctor next week, and hopefully we will have a plan. It might just be a really bad iron deficiency, and then I just take a lot of iron. and eat a lot of beef and so on. And then I'll have a functional brain with a concept. But yeah, so next week, provided that my health accommodates it, I will be going out of town on Friday, but I will still be here on Thursday, so we will play. I don't think I would be able to get my taste buds attuned to liver. I think it's too late in my life to accommodate or to acquire that taste. Unfortunately. But I will be streaming next Thursday, and I should be able to do next Tuesday just fine. And we'll continue from there. My roommate is going to be out of town at the end of the month, so I'm thinking about doing some more like outside of my room streams. Like I might set up a cooking stream or two if folks think that would be fun. I'd probably do that on the weekends. If I do that, because there's I think 2 weekends that she'll be gone for, maybe I can do that 2 weekends in a row or something like that. If we're gonna do a cooking stream, maybe I'll post up like a menu and we can all cook together. We'll figure it out. I don't know. But I will keep you posted on that because it all, of course, depends on also my health and how things are going. Maybe we'll do music. I don't know. It's wild. It's crazy. I'll have fun times. Or we could do a chaos bake. That's true. Chaos bake is my baking without a recipe. Did I save? I did save, right? I need to make sure I saved. I did save. I'm going to save over it just in case. All right. I think that is reuse bits and replace the content. Yes. I'm going to reuse bits. All right. That's it. If you like what you see here, I'm sorry for I know the Raiders came in rather late, and I'm sorry because usually I end off at 10 and it is currently 10:15. But this is what I do. I talk a lot about the game. I have feelings and thoughts. Kind of went on a rant about something today, which happens. But thank you so much. If you enjoy this, please give me a follow. Those of you who are new and dropped by tonight, I hope you had a good time. I hope we'll see you again next week, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern till 10 p.m. Eastern. You can follow me, and if you want to catch up on previous weeks, I've got it all up on YouTube there, so you can click that link. Follow me on social media if you want to know what's going on and see photos of my cats, or join our Discord. We're always happy to have you there. Thank you all so much. Please take care of yourselves, and yeah, I meant what I said earlier. Do what you can. It'll be enough. Good night.